Winning. I've outsmarted you on a number of levels. Beta. Well, actually, King's not. Beta.
That was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck.
Keep your mouth shut. I'm going to go in there and slap your face.
You know, we're going to rise like the Phoenix. And
Get in my limousine. Ride on 85. Get in my Learjet. Woo!
Welcome to the Asterisk Inclusion Podcast. You're here with the King, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the Grizz.
What's up, y'all?
Well, tomorrow night, guys, we got Pick'ems coming at 9 p.m. I know I'm looking forward to that. How about yourself?
It's the first year ever, and I think we're doing it in large part to, get that sensation, that feeling, the juice in your mouth. I mean, training camp's just a few weeks away, and it's going to be here before you know it. And once the NFL season does arrive, it's just like a fever catches, and it runs rampant. And a large part of this is we've been trying to get this thing done quickly. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think in prior years this has literally taken a month, sometimes 2 or 3 weeks at least, to figure out where people are drafting. It's really simple. So this will be a fun night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Usually your brother is the one dragging his feet for at least a couple weeks, agonizing where he's going to pick, and has blown it a lot for the last 10 years. So this will be
fun. Talking on that. I mean, I was looking at we're talking about who picks where, but I'm looking at the people that finished in the bottom six, and I had a terrible year last year considering. But I blame Mr. Jonathan Taylor for 90% of that crap. But look in we got Troy, Coop. You guys are champions. Goldsman and champion. We got a lot of Greensboro people, Magic and Oracle and Gatos. So it's not Drill, Nate, LTD, Tuna all had really good years. And I mean, even though I finished near or beyond the medium marker, I still had a terrible year. But I think a lot of people are looking to redeem themselves. We got Drill, our first-time champ, so I'm looking forward to an entertaining draft. But what do you think about the standings as they are?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the draft. Mainly looking forward to being at Drills in Concord to see what kind of spectacle he puts on. As far as how everything kind of finishes, kind of who's finishing down there doesn't surprise me, but everyone else like Sleeper, that's a shocker for me. Like he's usually in one or two.
It honestly doesn't shock. I mean, it's not a knock on Troy. Troy is a gambler and he's all or nothing. So he every year does something squirrely, and he is all chips in. So he's the kind of mentality of me. If he's not going to get first, he'll get last, and he has no qualms or problems with that. And I respect that.
Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Mr. Coopman's got a new dog. There he is.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
Dog.
So let's get to it, Coop. We have 12 picks in the Ashland Cup. Let's just highlight what we do. It's half PPR. We know the format, and what we've been trying to do like we do every year. I would like to make the tight end position an overall flex position. And I'm not saying carry two flexes. We would just have 3 wide receivers. Or what would we do? We could be.
Well, it could be
2 flexes.
I would probably say 2 flexes actually, and I would do a wide receiver tight end flex if that was the case, along with running back, receiver, tight end.
And I don't see what's wrong with that. Just make that all. There are hybrid players, and a lot of the tight ends for fantasy that do score points, they are used like wide receivers. They're slotted out. So, I mean, even the ones that aren't great. So, I wish we would consider doing that, but we'll move on. So, who's got the first pick in the draft this year?
Looks like Sleeper Troy is going to be selecting where he's going to be picking first. I imagine he's going to take the first pick.
So how you want to run? You want to run the first pick, or you want me to do it?
Go ahead. You can take a guess at the first pick.
So I think Troy is. If I'm looking at the boards, and I think everybody's maybe looked at the mocks or tried a few by now, and how our league runs, and we go for premium quality. And I think Troy is going to play it safe for the first pick and go after the best wide receiver. I have the first pick in our league being Justin Jefferson.
Okay. I like that. That seems like I can see Troy making that selection. And yeah, it doesn't like I think receivers are in this year. This is a sexy year for receivers. You're going to see some studs fly off the board. I thought receivers flew off the board last year, but this year I think it'll be a stark switch from like the running back dominant first round that we're used to seeing.
That's what they're talking about in the fantasy community. They said load up on wide receivers early, and they're more trustworthy. I mean, people get burned by running backs. Like, look at me last year. I mean, Taylor was abysmal. So I wish I'd had even a Tyreek Hill at number one overall, a guy who was in there every week to scoring points. So you want that, and you get that in Justin Jefferson. It's automatic.
Yeah, he's a stud. Next up, you got Huza.
You take that one, your best friend.
Yeah. I could see Huza actually. I mean, are we going like because I actually could see Huza dropping down some, believe it or not.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So if it has a second selection, where would you put him at? What pick?
I'm gonna guess 4.
Okay, so if he's at 4, we'll get to who's it later then. So then we have you at 3.
I would be at 3.
Okay.
If Huza is dropping back, I'm gonna just go with number 2.
And who you gonna take it to?
A lot of good kickers.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take that one because it's a kind of stupid question. So I'll go ahead and throw it in there. I'll have you taking the number 2 wide receiver, and I'll have you taking Chase, the Bengals wide receiver, after Jefferson. Playing it safe.
There you go. Possibility. A lot of good kickers too.
Yeah, right. So then we would have Goal, I believe, at 3. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think Goal goes chalk, and we'll pick the number 3 pick.
You think he's gonna go for the home team, or is he gonna go for the best fantasy option?
Best fantasy option.
Okay, so who do you have him taking there at 3?
Oh man. He might actually, I think he might go like buck the transition and then go with C-Mac actually.
Okay. C-Mac's off the board. I have something between him and Barkley, and it depends what flavor he likes. I mean, Barkley is not an awful pick, and if you're a fan and you want to have fun in the league, it's not a bad thing to do. So we have Jefferson, Chase, and CMC off the board. Now we have Huza. And what do you I'll give you Huza too. So what do you have Huza taking here?
Oh man, sorry, I have crazy dogs right now. Who you got on the big board right now?
So the big board, I would have well, I mean, generically speaking, like I said, we're talking about Barkley, Eckler, John Taylor, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, Travis Kelce, Diggs, players such as that.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Probably I could see him doing maybe Eckler or something.
Okay, so we got Austin Eckler off the board at 4, and after that, I believe we have Magic Mike.
Mike will probably go chalk. I can see that'll be like at the 5th pick.
Yeah, I mean, we have Magic Mike at the 5th pick, and so I had him with Eckler originally, and I've had that's a hard one. The middle picks are going to get hard in the first round. I think it's going to get easier later, but I mean, is he going to go running back or wide receiver there? That's the thing. He's going to have to really figure that out, but. I think that's where the draft is going to get weird. I predict that in our league. Around pick 5 or 6, you're going to see guys that aren't typically taken that high. You may see Josh Jacobs or somebody new like a rookie running back, Bijan Robinson. I don't know. So somebody's going to probably have to gamble there. Are you going to be generic and just take somebody safe like Tyreek Hill? What do you think Magic's going to do?
I could see him going with Tyreek Hill. I mean, the thing is, after McCaffrey and Eckler, I mean, what other running back do you feel comfortable taking in the first round? Just like in general.
I never feel ever comfortable great taking a running back because he scared the crap out of me. But so I was thinking the same thing. So let's slot Magic Mike by Tyreek Hill at number 5. And then we have, I think, correct me if I'm wrong with the order because I've seen these various orders. I have Los Gatos Azules in number 6. Is that what you have?
Actually, I got the Oracle after Magic.
Okay, so we got Oracle. And Oracle, like we talked about in our podcast, he had a good year starting off last year. And then I think Kupp got hurt. And I mean, is he going to redeem himself and take Cooper Kupp again? Because he's getting them 50 bajillion points every week. And I think if Oracle is, if he's going to go back, and is reclaiming his glory, maybe he goes back and gets Kupp again. What do you think?
I will not argue with that. I think that's pretty safe to say.
I mean, I know he loved it. He was tearing it up halfway through the year, and then he lost another player down at trade, and the season was over. But Oracle got a sample of success last year, and if he keeps on, if he likes Cooper Kupp from last year, our league is trendy. It's like the love affair between Nate Gate and Travis Kelce. So we'll slot Oracle in with Cooper Kupp. And then I think the Gatos is next after that, correct? After Oracle.
I got Tuna on the board.
Way off. Okay. So we got Mr. Tuna. He's a champion in himself. And this is another pick. I have Tuna taking Josh Jacobs here.
Ooh. I mean, I could possibly see that.
But also, what about Pollard?
Ooh, I probably would lean more towards Pollard, Cowboy Homer.
It makes sense. Pollard could have a huge year this year. He's in a good offense. The only thing is the Cowboys pass a lot, but you saw Elliott stink it up last year. And if I wonder what Pollard could do as the primary bell cow in that system. And that'd be kind of a cool pick for Tuna to get his boy there.
Let's see.
So who do we have after Tuna? Is it Ryan finally?
No, actually, it would be the Grizz.
All right, so I'll let you do that one. What do you think after all these guys? We got Hill gone, Eckler, CMC, Chase, Jefferson, Kupp, and Pollard. So who's next? You think for me?
I mean, you think you're gonna stick with chalk, or you think you might drop back to the turn?
I've always loved being in the middle because it constantly comes around and around. You can't sleep at the wheel. If I'm not at 1 or 12, I like to try to get into the middle as much as possible. So, if 6 or 7 is there, that's what I'll probably take. And I'll probably get one of them.
Gotcha. Well, let's see. After you, then is Los Gatos Terrible. I wonder if Gatos will stick or if he's actually going to drop back and try to outthink the system.
I can make a bet right now. If we're given 5 minutes for draft slot, I'm not sure what Drill said, but Ryan is going to manipulate this thing all night long, and it's going to be a spectacle for tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
he's going to say, "Hold on, I got a phone call." Something,
he might drop back. Actually, I could see that. Like around. What pick have we got?
We're on me. The Grizz is on the clock right now, so and then Gatos is after me, right?
Yeah. So, like with you, I don't know. Maybe like a AJ Brown, or
I do like some AJ Brown this year. I think Hurts and the Eagles are going to run people over, and this year I'm going to try to play it as safe as I can and not have another letdown like where Matt Ryan and the Colts were the biggest piece of hot garbage ever made. I mean, really. Geez, that was awful. So, all right, Grizz with AJ Brown, and I mean that's not a far fetched idea, honestly. I do like him a lot. And then we have Gatos, correct?
Now we got Gatos.
So that gets interesting. Do you think he is going to go after Stephon Diggs there?
Possibly. That would probably, if AJ Brown's off the board, I think so. I think that would be his. He missed out on Diggs last year, blew it like a moron. So he might try to, make
I
up.
think all the hype and stuff that's going on in Buffalo, it's just Diggs being in a Madonna. He is like all these Cinderellas, these wide receivers, the Terrell Owens and such. I think it'll kind of blow over once the season starts and gets back to football. Diggs will go back to being Diggs and blow it up. He's
Yeah.
pretty nasty.
Now
So we got who's next? We got Gatos taking Diggs, and so we only have a couple more picks left.
we got LTD, Nate Gate, and Drill.
They had an epic finish last year, and I know Nate and LTD got a little flavor, and they were very hopeful. I remember talking to each of them as the year winded down, but Drill held on, and it was an awesome season. So who's next up?
LTD.
LTD. That is going to be really interesting. If Pollard's off the board and based off his season, I think LTD is going to get Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs will be okay with Garoppolo there. They still have a good system in place, and they're going to continue to ride that train.
I'm going to actually pick well, it's not really crazy, but for LTD, I think he might be at that point. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Kelsey.
No, okay. I had the next pick actually, Nate taking Kelsey.
That's the thing. Like, if Kelsey gets to Nate Gate, Nate will definitely, I think, snag him. But I think LTD knows that, and just LTD, man, just keeping it fresh. He's going to probably, I think he's going to go tight ends. He saw how well Nate Gate did last year, so try to snake Nate Gate on him.
That's interesting because then we have Drill, our champ. And I think I know what Drill's want. He's going to go wide receiver, running back, and I think he's going to go back to the drawing board from his success last year. And I think at number 12, he's going to take the Patriots running back, Stevenson, who is, I think he looks, I mean, this is a Patriots running back we're talking about, but he looks to be the real deal. I think he is a special type of running back, and he's still young.
Yeah.
Stevenson's only 25, so he's got another 3 years of prime running back ability. Running backs don't last long, but I see him taking Stevenson. And I mean, what's the best wide receiver on the board after that? I mean, there's some good ones left over. In terms, like, does he go after like Devontae Adams?
CeeDee Lamb, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him going after CeeDee Lamb or Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So I mean, Drill's going to be in a good spot in the draft, and honestly, Drill may not get the 12th spot.
Yeah, he might not. I mean, who knows? The king could drop back.
I mean, our league is pretty smart about things, and honestly, if I was picking at 9 or 10, I would definitely want the 12th spot this year versus 9, 10, or 11 because you get back to back, and you have a slight advantage doing that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like, honestly, for me, if you're like from 7 to 10 range, especially, like, just drop back. Like, I would. I mean, your value to me increases so much more on that second round pick, and it's just easier. Like, you're not.
It always sounds that way. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but the funny thing is, I like the consistency and the rhythm of the draft typically, and our draft always gets fun around 5 and 6. And I can't tell you how many times like there is a player like I get snaked every year, like round 5, and I'm just 2 picks away, and I'm like, man, I wish I was in the middle of the draft versus the very end. So our league is not won in the first 2-3 rounds usually. So there's always a couple great picks in rounds 5 through 10. But if you do for some reason land 3 great players in the first 3 rounds, which is something I've almost never done,
Never seen.
You end up usually in the top 2 or 3. It's guaranteed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting tomorrow night to see what people, if they just go chalk, that'll be funny. But I'm hoping to see some like a little bit of drama, someone dropping back, someone mixing it up. Let's try to outthink the system, boys. I like seeing that.
Let's see what we got. So back to our conversation, what do you think in going into the draft tomorrow night in the NFL 2023 season, and the way our league operates? If you had to take 2 overall picks in our league, where would you like to be slotted this year?
I mean, taking the first overall pick, obviously, I think is really good. For me, it's I've always been a big fan of drafting towards the ends, with the turn. I just like, for me, that's the rhythm I like. I don't, having to argue or debate with myself about, like, if I'm at like pick 9, like, oh, who should I take here because they might get snaked on the wraparound. But I obviously the first pick, I think I might just stick with also the top, anywhere in the top 4. I would probably be, that's where I'm shooting for. Which,
So you're saying if you were at 5 or 6 or 7, would you consider going 12?
yeah, I would. That's where I'd probably, I would, even at 5, I would probably drop back, and because I don't see a huge difference between the players at 12 as you would maybe get at like 5 or 6,
But how do you equate that to rounds 3 and 4? Because that could be a huge difference later. So it is a gamble.
Yeah.
And that's what makes things interesting. So guys, you better get your mock drafts in and read up on some information, because the draft is, or our draft picking is tomorrow night. And it's very important, because if you get in the wrong spot and don't know our league well, you're going to hate life when it comes to rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you're going to get somebody and try to make a couple of reaches. And that's the worst feeling. We've all done it. We get to the draft and you think somebody's going to be there, and then you're looking at your magazine or your cheat sheet, whatever you got written up, and you just have to, close your eyes and point your finger and hope for the best. And it can happen. We can strike fool's gold every now and then, but who's going to strike fool's gold this year? We'll have to wait and see.
That's right. Probably who'll just be a fool. He'll just be a fool, man. I'll be honest. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this a little short, but and let it go. But I will get this up as soon as I can.
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, don't forget, we're right and you're wrong.
Woo!
See you tomorrow night.
All right, guys. Adios.